Well, you are looking at the latest crime trends in Omaha. CrimeMapping.com. This shows what kinds of crimes are happening and where they're happening. Anything from assaults to burglaries right there. You can see crime does not discriminate. And in the battle to make and keep us safe, we wanted to see what's working and what still needs work. So the chief of police and I went on a little drive around town.
To the new chief of police, Todd Schmaderer.
When I took over as chief, I thought to myself, we must be transparent and we must gain the trust of the community.
But what is the key in gaining that trust? To answer that question, Police Chief Todd Schmaderer and I went on a drive around Omaha, a town that at times feels big city, a city that at times still feels small town.
One of the greatest parts of Omaha is the diversity.
Diversity seen in each of the city's 4 police precincts. We begin our drive with a quick swing through the heart of downtown, the Old Market.
The last couple weekends, we've seen some crowd violence in the Old Market area.
So Schmaderer says police are stepping up.
So we'll up the enforcement, up the investigations, up the preventative measures to try and get a handle on that. And it's very important that we do because the Old Market area is such a tourist attraction for the city.
Now into the precincts. First up, Southeast, where Schmaderer says one of the main problems is underreported crime.
Whether it be fear of reporting because of immigration status, whether it be fear of reporting because that's just not what's done. And as a police department, part of our issue is to try and get the community to report their issues to us.
To build a rapport, the department hosts community get-togethers throughout the year and works with youth through sports.
They now see police officers as coaches, as human beings, and not this individual in a uniform that's to be feared.
From Southeast, we go up on the interstate, where police are on patrol, not only for speeders, but dealers.
We have officers that patrol the interstate trying to make Omaha a hard target, trying to interdict the drugs and the guns before they come in to our community. It's not something that we advertise, but it is something that we've been very successful on.
Schmaderer says there's also been success in Southwest. It stretches from 42nd all the way past 180th.
When you have such a large terrain to police, it adds a different element of difficulty for a police department.
Difficulty, resources.
Police response time is very important out here because of the vast terrain. We have an issue with business robberies and some burglaries.
But they're seeing success by working with citizen patrols.
Really expanding our reach, really getting out to the neighborhoods, and it's a force multiplier, if you will.
And that's what's making a difference in Northwest, Omaha's largest precinct.
Northwest has a lot of businesses, so you can experience the crime associated with businesses. But there are portions of Northwest that we deal with some violent crime.
So to meet the challenges, the department relies on weekly command meetings, neighborhood watches, good relationships with businesses, and again, strong citizen patrols.
Rob, if I wanted to, I could run it like a military. But in my opinion, who knows the problems? Who is better equipped to alert the police? Here's some issues that we have going. Who is better alert the police that we have resolved this problem than the community?
We end in Northeast, 42nd to the river, where statistically there is the most crime.
We have had an issue of some gang gun violence in the Northeast precinct. There's also a little bit of a perception issue with the Northeast precinct.
Now, the department is beefing up the gang unit, having it work with the homicide and cold case units. But that is a reactive response. This precinct's problem also requires a proactive one.
Law enforcement is great for a short-term cure, but there are root causes of crime, such as poverty, employment, and education gaps, that have to be addressed by the community in order to have a meaningful impact on long-term aspects of crime.
A huge factor in policing here, really in all the precincts, is trust. That's why Schmaderer says every month police captains hold what are called precinct advisory councils.
It's a way to hold them to task. We are responsible to the community, and I want my captains to be responsible to the community. I'm responsible to the community.
And even though he is still working on job one,
my top priority was reduction of violent crime.
Schmaderer thinks his first year on the job,
we've identified where the violent crime is,
has been a success.
We've identified how that violent crime is occurring
for the department,
and we've organized the police department to address that.
And for the city.
As you know, it's a great city to live in, but it's an even better city to police in.
Now, Schmaderer believes the department is more transparent now, more upfront with citizens than it used to be. A lot of that came after the controversial arrest at 33rd and Seward, which led him to punish 8 officers, firing 4 of them.
Yeah, and besides violence, what did the chief say is one of the biggest problems facing the police department?
I asked him that, and he actually said it's keeping up with the fast-growing city. He'd like a 5th precinct added because we're growing so fast, something that will help next year's recruit class, which will get the department back up to its full strength of 804.
All right, thanks, Rob. Well, there's a record